Hey guys, this is how you quality control process with the sorting with it. So at the end you will have 3 different stacks, which one is your good stack that is ready to get code checked, second one is more love needed, MLN, and the third one is recut. So what I'm going to show you first is our little 1-pager. And those are all of the questions that you're really going to look at to kind of be able to critique your blanket a little bit better. So this one that I have laid out right now is a good blanket. Reasons why is, as I follow the questionnaire, it's, are the corners good? That means that there's no big gaps in them or anything like that, nice and tight. It's like that all the way around, no big gaps. Does it form a square or a rectangle? Yes. Does the blanket lay flat? Yes. Strips, ties look good, which that kind of means is as long as everything is double knotted, pretty much the same length all the way around. Sometimes you might get really short ones compared to really dog hair length ones that are really, really long. If you do come across anything like that, just feel free to trim it and try and make it as lined up as possible. Stripes the same length. Are they double knotted? Yes. Sometimes you'll get a blanket that is tied a little bit differently, but to be able to notice if it is worthy enough of the tightness is you just pull a solid and a print. You can do that a couple times around the blanket, and as long as it's staying, it's tight. And then are there big gaps in between the knots? This blanket does not, so I'm liking this blanket. All of the ties are pulled to the base, laying nice and flat. So I'm gonna pass this blanket. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it. And whenever I have a good blanket, my goal is to try and have the patch be on the outside. So when we do get to the code checking process, it's a little bit quicker for us to go through it. Because the patch is right on the outside, so we don't have to keep looking for it. So that's my good one. This one is my more love needed one. And reason why this one will pass as a more love needed is if you look at this side right here, we're just gonna have to untie this whole side and a good chunk of the other sides as well, just because they have these little V's that we call them. And a good reference to that is IVs can get stuck through it. You can fit a couple fingers right in there, and we don't want that. We want the blanket to bring comfort and smiles to the kiddos. So this one I'm gonna pass into the more love needed just because I see this right here. It's gonna take about 15-20 minutes just to untie it and retie it really quickly. So what I'm gonna do now with this one, because I know it's gonna take a little bit of time, is I'm gonna fold it. And as much as possible, I always try and keep the patch on the outside to make it a little bit easier for just everyone. And then this one is going to be a recut blanket. And reason for it to be a recut blanket is if you dive into this corner right here, it's kind of botched. We got deep corner going here, we got V's around here, and then right here we have like a random cut in. And right here, we can't really do anything to fix it, unfortunately. So what we're gonna have to do is just recut off this whole side. Like this blanket, right, this gap right here, we can fit our whole hand in that. And we don't know what kid is going to get the blanket. And we wanna make sure that they're getting a great blanket. So this one is gonna be into our recut one, because you have this, you have some V's in there, your corners too gappy. And there's just, it's gonna take too much time to try and fix it. So we want to make sure that we're spending our time efficiently. So we'll make this into a recut blanket and just remake the blanket. Thanks, guys.